Following is a production of Locked Up Sports.
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca from the Michael K. Show. When it comes to talking sports, Bob Walters and Brett Grasso are the authority.
Can't wait.
When it comes to talking sports, they're the authority. It's Bob Walters and Brett Grasso. It's Locked Up Sports, and it starts now.
Bring them out, hey. Bring them out, yeah. Bring them out, hey. Bring them out.
Here we go. Bob Walters, Brett Grasso, from the Brian Gunzel Studios. This is Locked Up Sports. The Mets show signs of life, winning 6 of their last 7. Garrett Cole shuts down the Cubs as the Yankees finally score a few runs and get a win. The Knicks finalize the trade, sending Obi Toppin to Indiana. Are they done, or are they going to make a push for some bigger names still out there? And does anyone care about the All-Star game anymore? Brett, it's the last day before the All-Star break. Welcome to the show.
Oh, man. Remember, you know what? It's nice. You know what? Last time we were on here, we were with Bobby Husler, and it wasn't going so well for the Mets.
No,
we were talking about...
And you missed even last week when it was the nosedive continued into the...
trust me. That wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, but let me tell you. New team. Totally different team.
The Mets are back, baby.
I don't even know. I don't even know how it's possible. But you know what?
Here's how it's possible. It's a long season.
No.
We go on off these cliffs and come back a lot of times during the season.
No. That's as awful as a start as you could have ever imagined. But it all revolves around starting pitching. When your starting pitching can go deep enough into games, and your bullpen, even if you only have 2 guys you can rely on, you can work those 2 guys in that you can rely on.
Yeah. Well,
the problem is when you were taxing your bullpen with guys coming in, trying to save leads in the 4th inning, 5th inning, 6th inning, day after day after day, you have no chance of being a decent team.
And the bullpen stinks.
Oh, they stink. That's what I'm saying. You can only rely on like 2 guys, and one of those 2 guys you can only rely on about 3 out of 4 times.
Listen, it was the first time the Mets got big pitching performances this week. One from Verlander.
Yep.
And one from
Senga.
Senga.
Huge,
Senga was the other
huge one from
So
Senga.
what they did, and it wasn't even, it was Senga. Yeah, Senga was the big one. The 8 innings. It was the first time since 2015 the Mets had back-to-back 8-inning starts, which seems a little weird with DeGrom and everything. But here's the key to that. They stayed out of the bullpen. All they had was Robertson. Right?
That's the key. Yeah, it is. It changes everything. Obviously, the offense has to come along with it.
I mean, just look at the 4th of July. Drew Smith comes into the game. They figure we're going to save Robertson. He comes into the game with like a 5-run lead. I turn my back to go get a beer. I come back, and all of a sudden Robertson's in and the tying runs up at the plate. That can't happen. That can't happen in a 5-run lead. You're going to give him a break today, and then they had to throw him. But the big one was the other night, down 1-0, down to their final strike. Alvarez at the plate, run. Opposite field.
Man.
It was great.
The kid just keeps stepping up and coming through. And, when you go from how bad, like really how terrible of a start that he got and had to fight through with how amazing he's playing right now. Leading all catchers in Major League Baseball in home runs with 17 now after his dinger last night.
He's second all-time most home runs in your rookie season at the age that he's at. Second to only Johnny Bench.
How many we got to get to?
26,
right?
How
many we got to get to?
26,
right?
26
yeah,
is the
26.
He could get there. He's
Of course
going to get there. He's
well,
going to get there.
No, you don't know. You don't say that, but he can get there. No, it doesn't work that way. You're always, you got to play the games to get there, and if you get hurt, which is always a possibility when you're playing. Now,
he hit that home run in the 9th inning, right? He hit it over the opposite field. He was basically dancing around like Joe Carter. Hit the home run.
Did you hear they talked to him, right? You hear they talked to him?
Joey Cora, I heard talked to him.
And then he was speaking with Lindor in the dugout, but Lindor says it wasn't about that.
Yeah, but Lindor, I can see loving it.
Yeah, but he says it wasn't about that, but it was about that. It was definitely about that.
But
what do you think of that? What do you think? What do you think?
I think it was a little much. I'm not against celebrating, but he was backpedaling, flexing his muscles.
I think his little point to the jersey, look who I am when he does it. Look at that. That's who it is. It's Alvarez.
It was pretty. It was a little much. I'm not against showboating a little bit.
Is
but
it
that was a little
because
much.
of the moment? Like if that's to win the game, do
It
whatever
was.
you want.
But the moment was
if that's to win the game or even to a go ahead homer.
they hit him the next day. They could say it wasn't on purpose all they want. It was on purpose. I will
What, to hit?
Yeah, no, when they hit him.
Of course, it's
But
on
they did it
purpose.
like his
And
third
you
at
should.
bat when it's
that's
9-0.
That's real baseball.
Yeah.
You don't regulate this by in the media by chirping back. Oh, you should have done this, or what do you think about that? Like, no, you go plunk a guy square in the back, and
Yeah.
like a man,
They hit him.
and he take it, and you run down to
But
first.
he also hit home runs. He hit. And Lindor is back, right? Lindor 5 for 5. He's the first player in Major League history in consecutive nights to have 8 hits, 2 triples. No, I'm sorry, 9 hits, 2 triples, 2 home runs, and 2 stolen bases. First player in Major League history. So, the Yankees can have all those perfect games that they want from those white beaters. We're set in history. Only one of those have happened. There's been 24 perfect games. But
the 2 triples in a game is a big one.
The 2 triples,
The 2 triples is a feat that people don't realize. It's hard enough to hit 1 triple.
He was a double shot. I think he was a double shot.
What do you think the odds were for him to hit 1 triple that game? I'll tell you, this is good.
Plus 250, 350.
You know what is the odds are to hit a triple?
What?
Plus 2,000 or over.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Do they do 2 triples?
No, because it's not possible. And it's crazy. You can do 2 guys to hit a triple, like do a Lindor and Nimmo deal, and they both hit him. But I'm telling you, I picked Nimmo a few times. You know when I had Nimmo? I texted to all you guys. You know when I had him?
When?
I had him for a triple, $20 on it, plus 1,800 or 2,200. When he got thrown out at third, stretching it on the big one, I had him. I was growing crazy.
Well,
and they had to replay it. Oh my God!
Yeah. Well,
that was like I don't even know what it was. I think it was for like 1,000.
Yeah, probably would have been like 1,000. I had Nimmo's hit a bit of a skid here. He's in a little bit of a slump. He was 0 for 15 coming into last night. I'm not sure if he got any hits last night. But he should have. You know what it was? He was hitting home runs. He hit home runs in 5 out of 7 games. So he got the home run bug. He got the swing for the home run, and then he started swinging for the fences, and he's not hitting that. And now he's not hitting.
People talking all about Lindor, and he should have been that the All-Star selection. And
I don't think Lindor should have been.
No, I think it's Nimmo. And you know what? Credit to Lindor. The press conference comes out. They go, Francisco. They just picked the guy from Arizona to fill in for the spot, and he goes. They're like, "Are you disappointed?" He goes, "I'm disappointed for Nimmo." He goes, "Because it should have been Nimmo." And you know what? And he's right, because he's like the most underrated, not talked about player in baseball.
Yeah, listen, Nimmo should be an All-Star. The problem is, it's basically the NL All-Star team is the Braves. Their whole infield made it.
Yes.
They're the best team. They're like 35 games over 500. They're 27-4 in their last 31 games.
They're the team that looks like they're just going to run away with it. They should go sweep every series in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But that's not how it goes in the playoffs.
Did the Mets dig themselves too big of a hole, or are they right in this thing?
They're in a playoff race. That's all I'm sure of.
6.5 out.
No,
but 5 teams ahead of them.
It's the team. Is it 5 full teams ahead of them?
Anymore.
It's
it was
not 5 full teams.
Ago.
It was 3 teams as of yesterday at one point, because it was just and it's really you're chasing the team in your own division. You're chasing Philly. So your eyes on, I know, but chase Philly, chase the furthest team. You're right. You're chasing both, but to make up grounds, we can actually do like a thing where how it has to go the rest of the way, like how many losses for each team.
Yeah, the magic number. You're gonna start putting magic numbers.
No, it's not even
up?
magic numbers. It's not. No, but it's more about like if over the next few weeks, it doesn't go.
Listen,
like you look at the Braves, like there's no catching the Braves.
No. There's okay. The Mets are 18.
No, I'm not even saying for the Mets, but for anybody because of the level they're playing at now. With the Phillies or Marlins, it's really one of these horses in this race is going to all of a sudden, they're totally going to fade. But someone's going to jump up and let me tell you, I had no faith in to be in the Mets. I didn't even consider them in this race.
Well, you still have San Diego, who's an excellent team, is right there, tied with the Mets. Basically,
but they're not all just going to magically start playing better. Some of these teams, the Mets should be who they are, a bad team that's been playing bad all year. That's who the Mets should be. All of a sudden, we're like, okay, we got a little hope. Now, San Diego, they're a bad team who's been playing bad and lost to the Mets and is playing bad. So I don't see them as they can do it. But not all these bad teams are just going to magically start playing better.
But at least, hey, listen, at least it gave us a little bit. We'll have some July baseball at least, right?
Yeah, we have to win.
Meaningful
We have to win
late
today. We have
July.
a game going off in just a few minutes here.
Big game today with Scherzer on the mound. He's going to get up against Musgrove, who last year had the greasy ear in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So he beat
Better than Snell, I'll tell you that much. That didn't go well.
He was on.
wicked last night.
Mets struck out 17 times last night.
Yep.
Season high, of course.
Not all
season
by
high.
Snell, thank God.
No, he only pitched 5 innings, right?
Well-
Or they took him out after 6.
He was 6, yeah, but he was because he actually got into a rough patch in that he got out of it, but he got in a rough patch late in the game. But he breezed through that game and he was just lights out. And with a sick fastball, he was throwing like 97. And he
was
doesn't throw
throwing-
97.
and he threw that breaking ball. That was money too. But now does Alvarez play today? I asked you that before.
Yeah, well, listen, he's a young guy. You have some time off coming. You play him day game after a night game. You play him.
Day game after night game.
If you're an older catcher, you don't. If you're an older catcher, you're sitting out. You give him an extra day. You send him home. You know what I mean?
It's his first time playing 162, right? It's gonna be his first full major league season,
He's
basically.
hit and he's on fire, and
He's
he
on
wants
fire.
to play. How do you keep him out of the lineup? You'd have to
I would play
drag him out of the lineup.
Yeah, I would play him. I mean, does he seem like a little bit? Does he seem like the kind of guy, which I like, that if he's not on your team, you hate him? He does, right?
Yeah.
He seems like he's cocky. He's a bit of an ass.
Yeah, but you don't know. I couldn't tell. There's a few times where he's interacted with the pitchers and with the first baseman where I couldn't tell if it was like I know him a little bit and we're joking, or if it was they were really going at it. Like,
So-
you see, I don't think he's, and I think it's going in that end of it's going to go around the league already that he's not liked.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
he's
so.
a showboater.
yeah.
But this is what's proven time and time again in this league. If you can put up the numbers and you keep hitting, and you are, let me tell you, when you're the only catcher who does that, no other catcher does it in the league. There's at any given time, there's not like 3 catchers who are great catchers and hit a whole bunch of home runs.
No,
They
he's
barely
got a
exist.
good arm. He can
If you
throw
look
from
back
his
at
knees.
Major League history, it barely exists.
Yeah, hitting catchers a defensive position. It's supposed to be the brains of the operation.
Or you're a good hitter. There's a couple of really good hitting catchers
Well, there's
that
a
were
couple.
terrible catchers.
Carlton Fisk
No, but
might
some
be-
that,
no,
well,
Carlton
not them.
Punch.
No, I'm not saying that they were terrible catchers, but there's some guys who were known for they can hit, but pitchers they weren't like they couldn't throw anybody out. They could and listen, and being a great catcher, I didn't mean like the guy's hitting 350, hitting 40 home runs. I meant like hitting 280. With 18 home runs and 60 or 80 RBIs would have been considered like a good hitting catcher.
Piazza was a liability behind the plate as far as defense goes. He was.
He got
himself
you're right.
okay,
No,
but
you're right.
he was a liability.
But he was there. Whereas Alvarez, it looks like. Did you see that play he made the other day where the pass ball?
Yes. On the that was the game where he hit the home run.
Yes,
And
the strikeout.
Yeah.
That play is going around. That play is going viral. Like, 'cause that was nuts.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean,
It's just because he's like fading away. It wasn't like he picked it up and just threw it. Like the guy's falling from look and like a no look throw. It was
a
nice.
no look throw, bounced it to first.
And,
Yeah,
and it was like that's.
And listen,
It's instincts. Like the guy's, he's comfortable. You see how nervous he was last year? The guy was shaking in his boots when he'd come up to a pinch hit.
But if
he'd swing it out of his shoes. And now all of a sudden, these opposite field home runs, that's what's got me going the most.
I was at the game earlier this year it was against San Diego. It was like the first big game. The Mets had made a comeback against their big closer, and the tying and winning runs in scoring position, 2 outs in the ninth, and Alvarez up. And he was just he wasn't ready for the moment. He was outmatched. He went 3 swings and misses, not even close. He foul tipped one of them.
And the pitcher had no fear. They knew exactly what they were going to throw to him, how it was going to go. Whereas now they're starting to fear the guy.
And the thing with the home
There's
run,
not a spot where you can throw it. If you throw it outside, the guy can lean outside and put it. And listen, it doesn't have to be a home run. He's actually shown that he can spray the ball around in other situations too. Like this isn't a guy who's doing nothing.
And he also, the thing with the at bat with the home run is the pitch right before he hit the home run. It was like a foul tip, like you couldn't hit it any less.
Yep.
Before that, like it was like game over. Oh no, he just barely tipped it, so he stayed alive in the at bat. He put it over the wall, and then Beatty got the infield hit, and then the triple by Connor. Connor's and what about Tommy Pham?
Listen,
I was
Fly to a deep right field. McCarthy back. Here
Can
we
we get an
go.
apology?
It's out of here. Francisco Alvarez ties the.
Two guys, and let me tell you, I'll apologize to Tommy Pham too, because you know what, like, because I gave him a hard time early in the year. It was, but we don't apologize to Vogelbach.
Vogelbach, no. And
No
what's up with McNeil? Like, McNeil's no good this year. Like, what's up
but
with
you
that?
know what? He's a hang with them guy. You know why? He's the guy where if this is how it goes. Listen, this Mets team is so stacked that it was actually difficult for them to all not be hitting at the same time. So that's the type. This is the type of team where there should be plenty of guys to pick you up on a nightly basis. Where all you need is one or two of these guys on a nightly basis to go. You know, Lindor hit a home run tonight. Or next night Alvarez hits a home run. You look at it and you go, oh, Alonso hits a home run. And you got Nimmo in between and McNeil comes through. Hang in there. And let me tell you, there's going to be a point where McNeil goes on a tear while everybody else is kind of playing well. And let me tell you, right now, if they came back and everything's going how it is and McNeil goes on a tear and these pitchers start pitching how they're supposed to, the Mets can go win 5 out of every 6 games.
Well, that's basically what they're going to have to win. They need one streak of these. And I was saying
it's possible. I don't see.
They need
listen,
like a 13 out of 15.
They should be who they should be, who they have been. Like, but
no, but they shouldn't.
This
week,
week,
this was a surprise. The Mets are a surprise being this
I know,
bad.
but you got to show it to me for a couple weeks, not this whole give me a week or whatever.
No, yeah.
They lost last night. You lose tonight. It's a bad taste in your mouth going out of this.
We did this before.
That's no good.
Remember they had the 5-game win streak with the game, and then we went to the game the next.
And then we got Mr.
swept.
Senga, who. First of all, when he had that start, he went the extra inning. So he's in the 8th. He went and he comes out in the press conference after and goes, I went because I knew I was going to have a longer break. So I went out further. The next minute, they were like, and you're in the All-Star game pitching. And so now he's the guy who needs that extra time. So he's going to get an inning or two.
And I said Verlander before with the 2 pitches. It was Carrasco, which is even more surprising because he's pitching well now.
But that's it, and then you got to figure out. Then you look at Peterson and where
Peterson
did these
was
guys?
Okay last night.
But that's a problem. He's now we're going to stick him in the rotation and leave him in there because then you also have Quintana coming. So you have to realize, and he hasn't been pitching well in the minors.
Are they going to go to a 4-game?
He's been pitching like
rotation?
This in the minors.
You can't go to 4-man rotation because Zenga we've already seen how he gets
4-man rotation. We got 6.
No, but it's going to be 6 when the other. Yeah, but they could talk about taking Peterson out.
I know, but right.
That's what they're talking about.
Okay.
They're talking about taking Peterson out and waiting for Quintana and going 4 men while we wait for Quintana, or keeping Peterson in and when Quintana comes, it's 6.
There's 2 guys who can do the 4-man rotation. And that's Scherzer and Verlander. The other guys can't do it.
Can they even?
They can. I'm telling you, they just got through a bad patch early. I think those guys are about to settle in. Like they're about right now. Just because I wouldn't have said that a week ago when it was like they had one good start here. They're not going to be there. Like they are going to be as good as you can get for a starting pitcher in baseball over the next few weeks.
Scherzer's a 5 to 6 inning pitcher, right? He's okay. He's average. He's got 8 wins. He's okay. He's not a bad pitcher, but he's just making all the money. That's why when you were saying, they're going to trade him, nobody wants Scherzer. No one's going to take Scherzer because then he picks up the option and you're on the hook for $40 million next year. He's got a player option. So you're going to take him for that?
No, but he's still tradable. You'll end up with a prospect paying his way for whatever you pay. The Mets are paying.
It sounded like you wanted out too.
100%. You will get someone's good prospect and a bad prospect, and probably picked up another contract on the way back that you don't want.
Because when they asked him about it, when things were going real bad, they asked him about it, he was like, "Well, we'll talk when Steve says, we're going to cut bait and we want to trade you." But he sounded like he wanted out of this thing because he doesn't want to be here if it's going to go south.
No, he wants to win.
Yeah,
he's a winner, and he knows he can go, and he can also knows he could very easily be back on the Mets next year. That's how crazy. That's how he's so not even on the Mets, but on another team after. He doesn't care. We talked about this. He's not a Washington National. He's not a Dodger winning a.
No, he's a Detroit Tiger, right?
He's not a Tiger. He's not any of it.
Who does he go in the Hall of Fame as?
He's not anybody. He doesn't care at all. He is a baseball player that just wants to win World Series. He does not. Who's he going to go in as? Jeez.
Okay, man. So we got it's today the last game. It's a big game today, right? That hurt a little bit last night. You wanted to win last night. You wanted 2 straight sweeps. It's asking a lot though. I got the lineup for today's game here. Nimmo in center. Tommy Pham in left. Did you see Pham throw the guy out at third?
That was
awesome.
It was terrible. You see him bait him?
Yeah.
Where he baited him.
Yeah, I know.
That was the best.
Lindor hitting third. Alonso hitting cleanup. McNeil, and then DJ Stewart is the DH. So no Vogelbach. Alvarez catching hitting 7th. Beatty hitting 8th, and Guillorme hitting 9th. Guillorme had a couple nice plays at third yesterday, and Scherzer, of course, on the mound. So that's the Mets lineup for today.
Oh, man, DJ go low.
DJ. Nobody gets our inside jokes, Frank. You can't be.
I'm gonna say it
random
anyway.
inside joke. Yeah, I guess you gotta say it.
You gotta say it. Anyway.
Gonzo would love it.
Yeah.
A couple people will love that joke, but
Yeah.
that's about it. Now, the Yankees are playing right now. They're up 1-0 on the Cubs. Bottom four. The Yankees.
Who's pitching? Let me see. I got it.
Hendricks for the.
Liam Hendricks for the Cubs.
For the
and then
Cubs.
We got some. What do we got?
Is it Severino? I think it's Severino. No, it's not Severino.
It's Mr. Perfecto. Mr. Perfecto.
Yeah, and they got another guy suspended. What's his face out of the bullpen?
You see where he's at? Look. 4 innings, no hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts.
So he's not perfect, but yeah,
Not
he's got a
perfect.
no-hitter going.
He did walk a guy.
The Yankees had another player suspended out of the bullpen. I don't know why the name's escaping me right now, but he's suspended for domestic violence out the rest of the season.
Wait. Has a guy ever thrown a perfect game and then a no-hitter in like the same?
No.
In the same season even?
No. I'm going to say no.
Like there's only so many perfect games. Like
it's 24 perfect games. I'm
how
going to go out on a
about
limb
even
and
in the
say no.
same the same?
I don't think
week?
Nolan Ryan, because it would be like
2
Nolan
weeks?
Ryan or like Cy. It would be it wouldn't be a Domingo Herman. Is not the guy who you
No,
picked.
but that's see. Another week like this, if he throws a no-hitter here and then a no-hitter next week,
Yeah,
no,
yes.
you just said it's not like a Cy Young or
Then he is
Nolan
Cy
Ryan.
Young,
That's
yes.
the name is going to be synonymous.
Yes. If he throws 2 no-hitters and 1 perfect game in a month, then we can talk about him
You
being
want to
Cy
put a
Young.
wager that he throws one right now?
No, we mentioned it already. It's over.
No,
Oh wait, can you put a wager in? Is that
no. Just
Are you-
no.
with each
Do
other?
you think he's going to?
I'm going to say no. I'd say.
I think he's going to. I think it happens.
Okay, there you go.
I think the next one happens too.
You take the stance where nobody cares if you lose, and if you hit it, it's the greatest prediction of all time.
Let's see how it works out.
Talk about playing it safe. So the Yankees are up 1-0. Their offense is terrible. The big thing with them going in is Severino. He's basically the worst player. Severino is in his last 7 starts. He has a 9.48 ERA. He's basically not borderline, not even a major league pitcher at this point. How long do they keep going with him in the rotation? Because they don't score any runs. If you're giving up 9.5 runs every 9 innings,
No, yeah.
the Yankees
You're
on
done.
Thursday and Friday outscored 17-1. They got on Friday. They faced the worst pitcher in the National League ERA wise, Italian, their old buddy, the old Yankee.
Yeah.
He gave up 2 hits, 2 walks. The Yankees never got a run at
He's
second
awful.
base.
And he's awful.
He's awful. He's signed a
Right?
big deal with the Cubs this year. It's his first year. He's been awful. That was like his first
Good for him for making
half decent start, coming
What?
back to Yankee Stadium and pitching well.
He's making money off it.
He made he signed like a $43 million deal. So I mean, he's making money anyway.
So
But
it's not all bad.
the Yankees have not listened. They're not playing. They're up and down. They were last week. I did the show and I was talking about how great they're doing without Judge. They're not going. The bottom line is they're not going anywhere without Judge. Have you heard anything else on the foot or anything like that?
Let me tell you, I
'Cause you
haven't,
didn't-
I haven't
you
heard.
said maybe
I haven't
surgery.
heard a thing about it, but I will stick to my original story of this
But-
is not good. This could go on for much longer than you think, and if he comes back, it could turn into a major problem. I rather him not come back. I'm telling you, if he comes back and messes with it, and listen, I think Judge is doing, and the Yankees might be doing whatever he is. Going, wait a minute, if we're this far behind, if it's going to be that bad, if we're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're not that far behind.
I know, but if you're going to find out in the next 4 weeks.
Right now, they're tied for the third playoff, the third wild card. Okay, they are.
Yeah, but if you're trending in this direction where they're going right now,
Yeah, but last
in the
week-
next 4 weeks,
Okay, I mean, 4 weeks of basically
It
bad
continued
baseball.
how
Okay,
they're
yeah,
playing.
That may be. Yeah.
no, it's going to be like it's not going to be. I don't.
'Cause last week
they're
they were playing well.
They're the Yankees. I have all faith that they're going to kind of hang in there, do a 2 out of 3, win a couple series, win 2 series, lose 2 series, but.
They're 8 games out of first. They're 8.
It really does. I'm scared about rushing him back. What would that might do? Because then you're like, I'm telling you, you're running on it all day. As soon as you mess it up again, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and listen, there's still no timetable. They still don't tell you anything. So it's just Judge is out. Judge is out. And you know what they said? They said that as long as he can handle the pain, it's a pain threshold thing, which makes him sound like like he's saying, "Oh, I can't handle the pain," but that's not true. It's not like that.
True. That means if there's pain, that means every day he's just repetitively running,
Yeah, and you're swinging, you use your
and then at
feet.
the end of the day, you're like, oh, I hope it feels better in the morning. And then you just like run. And let me tell you, you're a couple weeks later, you're out again.
Now Tampa Bay's come back to the pack because they were running away with it. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They now have Baltimore right on their heels. Baltimore's 2 games out. They got Rutschman. There's the other big catcher. That's the other big catcher, Brett. Is Rutschman?
There's a couple now.
In Baltimore, he was the number 1 pick overall a couple years ago. Baltimore has kind of just refueled here these last couple of years from being bad. That's how it's supposed to work, though. You know, you're bad for 4 or 5 years.
Is that what's going to happen? Is it like Baltimore going to make a run? Is like Tampa going to like come back?
I can't
and,
believe
like, Baltimore?
Tampa. I can't believe it's only 2 games.
That's crazy.
Yankees is 7 out. Toronto's 7 out, and the Yankees are still.
It's really
you can
not
say they're
that
only
bad.
2 games behind ahead of Boston for last place. So the Yankees are 2 games out of last place.
Yeah, that's a good division, though. I guess
That's the best division in baseball because
It
you
is,
got
but
57 wins. You know, the only other one in the American League is Texas with 52 wins that has 50 wins. And then you look at the National League and it's just the Braves. I mean, the Braves are 60-28.
yeah.
They're 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 27 of their last 31. They are 9.5. They're running away with the division. They're 9.5 up on Miami, who I still don't believe in Miami. You know, they got everything's gone right for them, and they're 52-39 though. That's out of nowhere. Then you got the Phillies. And then the Mets. Mets are 18.5 back. Mets are still 6.5 back of the Phillies, Brad.
You
The
just
Phillies weren't supposed to be good this year.
No, I know. Well, you know what? And the Mets, you can't even say that. All that matters is right now you got to get back into a position where you're in it.
You got to get back to 500.
Because every day that goes by, it just starts shrinking. If you get into 10 games back from anything from this point on, just forget it.
Yeah, that's exactly.
If you
what I
hit
was
the
gonna
10 games back, it's over. But if you can stay in that, if you look back and you have I like that comparison they're doing with the 1973 Mets.
Yeah.
They're the ones who came back, and right now they were 12 games back or whatever it was, or 10 games back, and came back and won the division. And this Mets team has a very good thing. That's the one thing we used to be in this position where we'd be this far back and we'd be like, we're going to make a run, but our team would suck.
Yeah.
And right now we have the core, or the pieces to have a good ball club, so there's no reason why it can't actually happen. Back then it would have been like a miracle run.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at teams that have been disappointing up to this point, but have more than enough potential to make a run, it's the Mets.
Yeah.
It's the Padres.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, but
and you look at the same time, there's plenty of teams that have the opportunity to fade.
There's a lot
They're
of
one
frauds.
injury
There's
away
a lot
from.
of
There's some other. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cincinnati is leading the division, right?
Well, you
got Pittsburgh. Well,
Did you see that play the other night from Ellie? That this kid now he steals third and then steals home while the pitcher turns his back last night.
He's the first. I think he stole second, third, and home, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, but the pitcher turns his back. And he was so pissed about him taking third,
Yeah,
and the guy, he just takes off and takes home. He's just absolutely electric. I'm sorry, and that's how you got to get lucky. And the Mets are like that with Alvarez. You need it. And let me get this new thing. We're just old, Bob. We're just old.
No, I already figured that out.
But these kids, this is what they do now. They showboat. They're used to showboating. It's part of them. You can't take it out of them.
Yeah,
you know what?
Still got guys out there that are.
So hit him in the back. I don't care because he just crushed a home run. That's even more fun. Now he's on base. The next guy's going to hit one out too. I'm all for it. Let me tell you, let these kids play.
Yeah, I get it, but no, and I'm not against admiring your home run a little bit.
No,
but
he was
backpedaling.
It's too much.
Flexing. It's a little much.
It's like the more I look around, it's not just this kid. We can't even put it on Alvarez. It's every single new kid coming
Alvarez.
out. You look at the Marlins. Look at that lineup. Oh my God, those guys are flipping more bats than I've ever seen. The Braves, they're throwing things around. That's what goes on today.
Yeah, I guess it does. I mean, we are. You're right. We're old. We're old men now. I get upset when the game is on Amazon because then I got to flip the input.
Yeah,
and it's a whole process for me. That's another reason why I'm old. Well, you should see the way I work on this show, editing it. I do it so. Yeah. I figure out a way and I do it, and it takes me like 9 hours. Yes, last week 2 weeks ago I couldn't get the Bob Usler interview to upload to YouTube. It took me 3 days. But and I also
we're hiring a production assistant.
I got the bobblehead.
You have a PA.
I got the bobblehead. I forgot it. It will be here next week for the block party.
The Husler.
Husler.
Big block party next week. Anyway, supposedly it's being advertised around town.
It's on Sable Happenings.
You coming through Sable? Hit up the block party. We're doing a show during the block party next week.
And I got keychains. I got T-shirts. I got cups. All kinds. I got all kinds of stuff.
There's a pub drink crawl where you go house to house and everybody made a different drink and bounce houses and DJs.
Are we going to do the crawl, the rounds before we come on?
Yeah, we're doing half and half. We're going to go right during. We're doing the rounds.
Okay.
Going around.
Yeah, no, I'm in for that. That never works out well. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Us drinking here.
Yeah, or any show we drank before went real well.
Yeah, so the Yankees, Yankees are winning 1-0. As we said, what's the no hitter watch, Brett?
Let's see,
The
no hitter watch. Yeah, we're gonna get a good. We got a few minutes. We got a half an hour.
Nope, it's 1-1. It's
That's
1-1. They tied the game. It was a home run. So there you go. The no hitters are out. I win the bet, Brett. And nobody, because it doesn't matter because nobody expected them to throw it. No,
well, it's about time I jinxed something, and you
you were about to make
jinxed the Mets. I jinxed the Yankees.
You were about to make Domingo Germán Cy Young 5 minutes ago.
No. Beyond that, we were about to make him like God status.
There's not a
where his name was like etched in lore.
There's not a bigger asshole in all of baseball. He beats his wife. He beat his wife in front of his teammates.
Part of the lore.
He came back and he got a standing ovation. Like, so people don't care. I love when they're like, yo, like right now, they're all, yo, that guy should be get out of here. You got domestic violence. They don't care.
And you can cheer a perfect game because you know why? When the guy does it, it is him doing it, but the team did it. Like, a lot of those guys made plays. You know, like you look at our no-hitter.
Yeah,
I mean, who's the guy who made the play for our no-hitter?
The umpire.
No.
The third
well,
base
I'll give
umpire.
you that. I will give you that. Mike Baxter.
Oh, Mike Back. Oh, yeah, up against the wall.
Because he never played again. I don't think the guy got.
That's what I
the
would
guy came out. He like went out on a stretcher.
Yeah, he's like Costanzi's. They leave on a high note.
Okay, speaking of which, now you got me reminded of the ESPN broadcast on Sunday. Did you see the guy fall off the wall during the broadcast?
I didn't see it. I didn't see him actually fall.
So now listen, it's nobody knows what's happening. Now the broadcast, but out of nowhere, the cameraman says, "You know what?" Producer goes, "Put it on the kid who's standing in the outside and the out like on the warning track."
Security was lining him
when
up.
He's standing like this now, hand over his face, other hand up, going, "I'm not a threat."
And they were running full speed at him. They were ready to take him out.
He's just bleeding.
He was in the seats though. He was back in the seats next inning.
He fell face first. Now one security guard comes up like they're gonna wrestle him.
Yeah.
And the other guy's about to go for him, and the third guy, the smart guy, comes over and he's like, "The guy fell and he's hurt. Like the guy's clearly hurt."
Because they're waiting for that. The security's waiting for that. It's national TV. They want to lay him out.
This kid's up here like this with his hands in the air bleeding.
Yes, so.
And national TV, they don't pan away like they do for everybody else. They go, "Oh no, we don't do it if you run on the field, but if you hurt yourself, right on the guy's face."
Yeah, right on
They
him.
walk him up. Now listen, you're like, "Oh my God, is he going to get ejected? What are they going to do?" And also, you know, they got to be a little worried. The guy just fell off a wall. So what do? They put him right on top of the wall again. It's the most New York.
Where are those seats? Are those the 7-line spot where we were?
No, it's not. That was. It's like almost like the old picnic area. Not the picnic.
Oh, they have like a party
it's like,
deck.
Like a party
it's the party deck,
yeah,
right?
So
okay.
But like, it's the most New York thing ever that they just stuck him right back on top of the wall again.
Yeah.
They were like, you know what? They had a big Band-Aid on his nose. They covered his nose up.
A hockey player.
And now he's telling the story with his friends. And now probably made $1 million off of it.
Is it a good story? Is that good for you, or is that like, oh, I'm embarrassing?
Today. No, you're missing it today, Bob. Today it's this. Instantly before you leave that game, you have an Instagram profile as like the
guy
Mets,
who fell off.
Mets Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. Yes.
By the time you're already on TV. You're on TV right now, and you're like, if you were smart enough, you'd get a sign up and write at Mets Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, and give a Cash App or something.
Done. Embarrassed? You know what I'm embarrassed of? My Mercedes.
Yeah, but you fell. Like, you fell. You're the guy who fell over the wall. Like, it's kind of,
Now there's music. Then you put the Humpty Dance music on.
Yeah, I guess
it's a whole thing.
You get 10, 15 minutes.
It's just you get just enough out of it. The Mets will probably bring you out. You'll throw a first pitch.
If you're throwing a first pitch,
yeah,
then I'd be in.
Mr. Met Potato Head Day.
So the Yankees again. Listen, they can't score. Brett, they can't score. Their offense, they're unwatchable. They're almost an unwatchable team. I went to the game the other night. Actually, the 14-1. The 14-1 I was at the game was great. It's great. But anyway, there was a guy next to me bet like $5,000 on the Yankees. Fourth inning, they're losing 12-0.
That's rough.
It was crazy. It was
you
great.
double down at that point?
No,
Because you get such good odds.
No, because
you can throw
then they cover. They give them like plus 8 runs.
No, you do it money line.
Oh my!
Put $1,000 on the Yankees at that point, money line, and you win like $150K.
They lost 14-1. Yeah, they lost 14-1. But then the next night they come out, they get shut out. They can't. They're unwatchable. They don't hit. They don't score.
If Judge did come back, is that enough for this team to be straight? Like
so.
Totally. That's
Look how good they were when he was here.
Yeah.
He's the difference.
is the pitching hanging on it? Like
Severino is awful. Like I said, he's got a 9.48.
Well, which
ERA
Domingo
his last
Germán
7
do you get either? Because that guy was back and forth. You got a perfect game and then an
I
awful
know.
start.
The
and then
pitching's so-so.
a pretty good start. Now this one's great start.
They have a good bullpen. They have a very. I got
But
slaughtered.
I guess that's considered good pitching. I guess like a guy who 2 out of 3 can put out a good start is like considered good pitching.
Yeah. Look,
You know?
he's into
No, he's pitching well. Like
he's
that's,
into the 6th inning. He's got one hit, 1 run. It was clearly a home run. So I mean, he's pitching well, but the Yankees don't score.
yeah.
There's no room for error.
But like, and then it's like which judge comes back. Like you want the real judge, not
Yeah, I think you're gonna get the judge the
Oh,
real judge.
no matter what, the guy's he's going to be better than anybody else on the field.
It's not
That's
62.
always
But it's the best player in baseball, right?
yeah.
Besides Otani.
Yeah, he's coming. He's going to come back this year. It's just about how injured is he and how long he can hold out when he does come back. We'll see.
We'll see if he comes back.
No, he's going to come.
If he doesn't come back, they don't stand
I'm
a chance
telling
anyway,
you.
right?
You know what it is? There's going to be a point where he can come back, and even if something happens, they're going to be like, listen, you had that surgery in the offseason, you might as well go play.
You might as well go play. If that's the case, then
That's
he
what
might
I'm
as well
pretty
go play.
sure there's a good chance.
And
of
he'll
that.
go play. So now there was some Knicks. Knicks made a little bit of news this week. Knicks are the NBA Summer League. Brady, you all over the Summer League?
I watched one moment of the Summer League.
They had
One
when
basket.
Wembayama
So
played the other day,
That's all I saw. One basket.
and he was terrible.
He was.
He even said after the game, he's like, I don't know what I was doing out there.
Yeah. But he was like, nothing from 3 for like 16 or
Yeah, it's
something
Summer
like that.
League, though. It's
But he
Summer
had some
League.
blocks and he played defense. You know, the guys. That's nothing.
So the Knicks finalized the deal with the Pacers. They sent Obi Toppin. They didn't get back really much of anything. They got 2028 and 2029 second round picks of the Pacers to get rid of Toppin. They're kind of shedding salary.
Yeah.
Are they done? Do they go after Lillard? Do they go after
Harden.
Harden? Don't go after Harden.
I
saw
don't.
them going
I'm
after Harden.
anti-Harden. No, listen. That's the number one like thing that they're talking about now is Harden. I mean, Lillard's kind of like
He wants to go to Miami.
he wants to go to Miami, but there's rumblings of even like Brooklyn. But Knicks aren't really even on Lillard's radar.
Here's the thing with Lillard, right? And I said this last week. He has no trade clause, so he has no say in this, right? He has no say in this. The team said we're going to work with him, try and get him where he wants to go. Why do they do that? Screw this guy. This guy's screwing you, right? He's like, I want out of here.
He really screwed them because he ended up saying, "Oh, I want to go to this team specifically." That just took all of the trade value and took it all away from him. That just made it where Miami can
So
say,
at that point, I'm sending you where you don't want to go.
Right. And now Miami's like, and now you put Miami in a hard spot because now Miami has to overpay because that's the only spot you want to go. And they go, Miami's like, we're trying to make this work. And maybe if you had some other options and they realized nobody else wanted to go there,
Because
like,
he screwed Portland, right? He's upset.
it's not. You know what it is?
He screwed them. Listen, they're not going anywhere without David Lillard.
Wrong. Portland screwed him. I'll give you that much. They went.
They sat him out.
No, they went and picked up what's the guy's name? Speedy Claxton. I think it might have been the rookie who they.
Not Speedy Claxton.
No,
but yeah, I know who you're talking
who was,
about.
I can't remember what the guy's name is, but anyway, they picked up a guy that was like the equivalent of if you got him, like they can't really work together.
They're not going anywhere without Lillard.
No, but like that was their like we're gonna get rid of you.
Because what happened was he got injured. He could have come back, right? They told him to sit out. They were only 10 games. They were 5 games out with like 15 left to play of the playoffs. He thought that if he came back, he could make a run, get him in, and they could make a run in the playoffs.
Right.
It looked like they were tanking to get
Scoot Henderson.
They tanked to get Scoot Henderson. Is what happened. Is what they did.
Right.
So he didn't like that.
Yes.
So it's all connected anyway.
Right.
But
And the
screw
Scoot
you.
Hen-
Screw
no,
it. Screw
but-
these
no,
players.
right,
These
but
players
they
will burn
really-
the team in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but his whole thing was like, why do you even want a guy? Listen, I'm all for Dame Lillard for the right price. You can bring him in.
Oh, I love
But he's a
Dame.
guy who would have been willing to stay in Portland on a bad team and just have big numbers. Like, that's a weird... People don't like to do that anymore.
Yeah, but they're
like,
not. What do we mean? Harden to do that. He don't care. Harden's out there for his numbers.
Yeah, but he went
Kyrie would do that.
Yeah, but they're at least going towards the title. Like, you can't be in a spot where you know you got no chance. It's like, yeah, because you're comfortable. Like, but I get it. Like, because listen, I don't want to leave where I work. Like, I know where I am. Like, to go to a new spot would stink. Like, and all that
you
stuff.
don't want to
but-
switch jobs and switch cities, move your whole family.
But
But
if he does go to Miami, let me tell you, that's exactly what Miami needs.
But would you even
depending on what they're giving up?
I wouldn't
like,
send him to Miami.
No, I know, but depending on what they're giving up, like to take it where Jimmy Butler's doesn't have to be the guy, and he's there like whenever. Let me tell you, they would be a pretty. I don't like that for the Knicks if that happens. I don't like that.
Miami's better than the. I mean,
No, but I don't
Miami's
like
not
that
really
because let me tell you, if that happens, the Knicks are going to have to go have a lot of games versus Miami, and that's going to be a team they have to go through in the playoffs. And we already have enough time in the East when you have to deal with Giannis. Let me tell you, the Knicks are going to have a rough go.
Yeah, and I don't know if I would have got rid of Obi Toppin.
And then you got the
thought Obi
Celtics.
Toppin was
Let
good.
me tell you, the Knicks have got to make some moves and figure some stuff out, or they're not doing anything.
Listen, one step at a time with the Knicks. They're not a championship team
No.
yet, right? They're sticking to their guns.
No,
They're
but
doing
what if they go pick up Harden? They could ruin themselves for a couple years.
No, listen, if they go get Harden, then they're trying to level jump is what they're trying to do.
Oh, no,
Just go
man.
with your process. Harden is to destroy your team.
Harden went out and played hard at the end of last season for one reason, because he knew he was going to have to get paid or
Harden
get
will
traded.
destroy your team.
Right. And
He
let me tell you,
destroys every team he's ever been on.
I'm not. They're in
And what he does, what Harden will give you is the Knicks don't need to sell tickets, right? They sell the Garden out anyway. The fans are rabid fan base about dying to win. Harden's not a winner. He'll give you a couple 50-point games over the course of the season, which will get you talking, and you'll wish and you'll dream things. And then in the playoffs, he just won't try. When he's already decided, I want out of here,
Yeah.
right? And then he tell you where you want to go, and he expects you with a no trade clause to send him to there. That's why I would say, where don't you want to go? Yeah, we're going to work with you, no problem. And then send them to the exact opposite spot. Screw these guys, because they run the league, right? The players run the league.
Of course they do.
In the
How
NBA.
much money's getting thrown around right now? Absolutely out of control to go get like a 6-man.
Yeah,
We're talking like $20 million for a 6-man.
Yeah, now
3-year deal, like $60 million.
Obi Toppin, would you have gotten rid of him? I mean, they didn't get any. They got two second round
Well, I
picks.
think it was more of a
Salary
locker.
dump.
No, but they were talking locker room issues too.
Oh, they didn't like him?
Yeah, there was something going on.
Oh, I
Something
did
else
hear
was
that.
up.
I did hear that.
So he was going. There was no. And that was the reason why they only got 2 second.
So
rounders.
he had to go.
It was he was gone. Let's find a taker. You're not going to get value because you know that they have no. It
Now,
wasn't.
do you not go after Dame Lillard because you already got Brunson? And maybe because Brunson's not the guy, right? Brunson's a good. We all love Brunson.
Oh no!
and
You need.
Brunson's
he is
not
the guy. No, he is the guy in the right spot.
Not to
he
win a
is,
championship.
No, you need you need the superstar.
That's what I'm saying. He's not the superstar.
He's there. He is not the superstar. He even showed you and made it very clear to everybody last year that he can't night after night after night do it in the playoffs like that. He
No,
could go
he's not that
one
player.
night. No, he could do it one night.
Yeah, 40
and
one
then,
night.
And then same thing. And then you go look, and then you go, okay, what was our other option? They go, okay, that means you got to do it tonight, Julius. They
Yeah.
go,
And
Julius,
Randall
and then
does-
Randall.
Randall's
One
the
night,
same thing.
one
He's not
night
good
did
enough.
it.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
night he did it, and then the other night it was, and then Randall goes, no, I did it last night. I can do it. And then he missed his 14th 3 in a row. And he'd be like, no, I promise you, last night I did it. And you're like, all right.
They're both one step below the superstar. Like Randall's a good player, and Brunson's an excellent player, but they're not the
telling
superstar that
if
you need to win a title.
They need and let me tell you, I would not be against, like Damian Lillard.
Oh, I know. You got to want Damian Lillard. You can't not want
But that's
him.
why I wanted Donovan Mitchell. That was my guy. And let me tell you, you watched Donovan Mitchell. What did he put up last year? He put up like 80.
Yeah, he was good.
Put up like 80 in the game. That's not a joke.
He's a Mets fan. His father works for the Mets.
I'm telling you, that
everything.
makes me sick that didn't work out.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a superstar that you can go get the next guy around where you can't. He's not going to go by himself and win a championship, but he's a piece that will take you to that next elite level.
But whatever you do,
Brunson's
just
there
don't
though.
get.
I'll tell you, Brunson made a huge steps in his game and showed
Brunson's
how
great. We love
important.
Brunson.
But it shows how important he was in Dallas and what they lost. Because look how bad they were without him.
Yeah, and
it was
look-
a
and
very,
look-
very clear how important, how good Brunson is. But you just need now. It shows you got one more piece away. Just do it, but don't do it at the expense of every other guy going in the toilet. But you got to commit to somebody. You got to say it's either R.J. Barrett's our guy, or
R.J.
Julius
Barrett's, I
Randle's
think.
going to step up and be it. You can't. You got to figure out
but
who
at
it
this
is,
stage, you
or get
already
rid
know.
of them,
Yeah.
or package those guys. They're good enough now. R.J. Barrett.
Julius Randle's not getting better.
No,
Right?
no,
We
no.
know what Julius Randle is.
No,
at
and
this
nobody
point.
really wants him, but people would want R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, but I want R.J. Barrett. I want to keep R.J.
I'm
Barrett.
with you, but for the right guy, he's at a level where he doesn't mean he could. Listen, he is at a spot where he may not be this amazing NBA player in a few years.
No, I don't think he's going to be superstar.
But someone might take. But he's at the point where he's like perfect contract wise and everything else, where someone might take him. I'm telling you, if you can get that guy, I don't know who that guy even is right now. I'm not even going to speculate on who.
I think the stuff with the Knicks and Harden is I think from what I heard, what they were trying to do is they were kicking the tires on it. They were going to see if they could get him real cheap.
I'll give you that.
Because,
Like,
okay,
I
we'll
said
take
that to
on-
you earlier.
I still don't
said
want
that
him. I
earlier.
still don't
I
want
go,
him.
It's just a money issue, and you're not having to give up anything serious for
You still
him.
don't want him, though. You still don't want him. I feel like he destroys
But on
the
a team, I would put a flyer out on him only because this team has no other option this year, and they're not going to take a leap. And with him, there's a slight chance.
Maybe you get it. Well, maybe this is the one chance.
The spark just is there, and you could really win a championship. Like I know it sounds stupid, but if
he cares and plays as good as he's is up to his ability, yes, he's the superstar
if you have
that you need.
no other option to come in, and it wasn't going to cost you multiple draft picks or R.J. Barrett or some other serious
He was
thing.
just in New York, though. He just asked out of New York, right? Like
He can. I just am not against it if it didn't cost you anything but money.
All right, I'm against it totally. But
I don't like him.
Free, I'm not
Hate
taking him.
Hate him. Don't want him here. Want nothing to do with it.
So now with Webayama, there was a big controversy this week. Britney Spears, listen, if you're our age, you love Britney Spears, right? Did you love Britney Spears? I love Britney Spears.
Yeah. That was it, man. Like
I mean, hit me baby one more time, right?
You don't
Come
even
on.
know. Me and Bob what were we, like 14?
Yeah, figure she's our age, I think. I think she's like our age. But so she was, I guess, she's a big French basketball fan.
Huge.
Clearly, because she's a big Wembanyama fan.
Yeah.
And she went up to him. I guess she was going up to say hello. For some reason, they were in the same spot in Vegas.
Well, yeah, she has a
And
residency out there.
His bodyguard turned around and backhanded her in the face.
Well, didn't she grab him?
She says that she tapped him on the shoulder, which is not a legitimate story because she's 5'2", and he's like 7'2". So there's like a 3 foot, 4 foot difference.
So when she grabs, like, what are you even grabbing? He's so tall. Like, what do you?
yeah, listen, she
Is
doesn't need to lower herself at all to grab the.
But what
yeah, the
you
bad
grabbing a
areas there.
kneecap? No, what
She
is?
filed the police report, but she's
Yeah.
also a lunatic. She's
Here we
also
go. No charges will be filed following a brief investigation into the altercation.
okay. So yes,
No. They said that she inadvertently hit herself in the face. That's from the police. This is from the police.
That's more believable that's the most believable statement I've heard about this.
So pretty much she reached, someone was like, don't, and she was like, ugh. And then she was like, assault.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah. Then she went and
Did you
shaved her
think
head.
did she roll on the ground? Like, was it like,
He didn't even know about it.
well, listen, the problem with Britney Spears is that was 20 years before he was born.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know. I mean, he knows who she is, but yeah, he's not like we are if we saw Britney Spears.
No, and he doesn't care. Like, it's a totally different thing. Like, she thinks she's like really important to everybody.
No, he doesn't care at all.
She thinks she's important to everybody. She's like, listen, like, she's one of those people, and she should be. Like, she's Britney Spears. Like,
Yeah,
she walks
yeah.
around like everybody, but that doesn't work that way. People just don't care. Like, even if they know who they are, like, there's people who are just like,
Some parts of the country they do. New York, here they don't. You can walk down Manhattan if you're pretty famous, and people don't care.
you have to realize is she thinks that listen, this is what's happened. She thinks she's the girl from the "Hit Me Baby One More Time" video, going up like a nice little girl going, I know, and she's not. She's a 42-year-old Karen who ran up to a superstar who, and all of a sudden they were like, "Get out of here, crazy lady!"
I still think she's the girl from the "Hit Me Baby One More Time" video.
No, she's the girl from the Psych Ward multiple times.
That's exactly who she is now. That's exactly who she is. And then also, more in other entertainment news here as we delve into this here.
This is a new thing.
It's rumors have intensified.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, Kim Kardashian.
Wow. You know what?
It doesn't seem like a fit to me. It doesn't seem like a match made in heaven to me. Apparently, they were at the same. They were at the same party. She was drinking heavily, throwing herself at him. Okay. She's admitted to this. She said she had 11 shots and she was extremely flirty with Tom Brady.
Imagine
she was
11 shots.
And imagine she was just throwing. Imagine Kim Kardashian now. Does Tom Brady resist? Because you probably want to just bang her, right? He probably wants to. But do you really want Kim Kardashian? You don't want.
No,
she's going to be a clinger. It's going to be a problem.
It's worse than that. It goes so much deeper than that. That if you had Kim Kardashian and they started dating, he'd instantly have to come back to football. Now she would be like, you have to play.
Yeah, she would want him to play. That's
no, she would be like, you have to play, and this is where you have to play because the uniforms are my favorite.
Yeah. I feel like she would run the show, but it's also. If you're Tom Brady, do you want people knowing you're banging Kim Kardashian? Like, she's crazy.
That's where she screwed it up. She went and talked about it. Like,
she's already talked about it.
She should have. She could have just went.
But now, did he bang her that night?
after 11 shots.
Yeah, probably
Is that,
not, right? You don't want to be dragging her home like that.
Right, man. Like, what is that even like? Did you see like that? Did you see him on remember the Super Bowl parade? Where he's on the boat?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's
and he was a mess, and they dragged him out. They had him dragging out like this.
He's like a nerdy.
So that's probably what happened. You know what the funny part is? They probably did. I guarantee you they got back. They were in the Hamptons, by the way.
Yeah,
it was right over
in the
here.
Hamptons, in the Hamptons.
They were at the white party, I think it was. So I guarantee you they were at Gurney's out in Montauk. And they were both just having, you think that they went and they had this amazing night, and they didn't. They were both throwing up.
You're throwing up.
Like they're just like us. They're 40-year-old people who just took 11
They can't
shots.
drink like that anymore.
What would you be like? You'd be having a great time with your wife, right?
I'd be at a
you guys would be
commission for a
having a
week.
blast.
We had that. Listen, when we went,
nowhere.
I'll tell you a quick story. When we went to Mardi Gras, we went on a cruise. And it was just maybe 7 years ago. We went on a cruise, and then we came back into New Orleans, and we were like, Mardi Gras was the second day of Mardi Gras. We're great. And Mardi Gras is great, but we're too old for Mardi Gras. Okay, they have these beers this big, 50 cents each, but you have to buy 15 of them to get the 50-cent deal. So I'm like, give me 30, right?
Done.
So we're doing this.
Done.
Me and my wife are arguing, bad arguing down the street. There was a group of hookers who took her in. We're like, hey, you stay with us. We'll protect you from him. And I'm like, you know what? You just stay with them, right? So then she ends up coming. We end up making up. She gets in the
Thank
cab.
God.
She gets in the cab with me,
Different
right?
life.
She gets in the cab with me. We get to the hotel. She gets out of the cab, face plant on the cement, right? Face all screwed up. I get woken up at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning. This was 7 at night, Brett. This is how long we can last into Mardi Gras. I wake up at 7 at night. She's going, hey. And I'm like, what's up? She goes, want to tell me what happened? And I'm like, what are you ensuing here?
This is funny. This is the exact story Domingo Herman told.
What do you? I'm like, why don't you go ask the front desk lady what happened? But she says she contends to this day that she got roofied. That by some couple with this couple that we saw. I don't even know. Listen, I'm probably in big trouble for telling.
She
the story
probably would
right
have been. She definitely would have been safer staying with the prostitutes.
Yeah. Listen,
they protect their own.
It's good to have it in.
At least they protect their own. They wouldn't have let her face plant
I'm telling
out
you,
of the cab.
It was like girls in a club. They were like, no, you stay with us. We're going to protect you.
No, because they get 10%.
So there's all that. Now, Brad, the All-Star game. Do you care about the All-Star game? Are you watching the All-Star game? Are you a home run derby guy?
No, the actual game. No, I will. Listen, this is what's going to happen. Is I'm going to watch the home run derby.
You're going to watch the All-Star game.
But I'm not into the whole thing.
No, it's pointless.
Once. I think it was the year where they just were like, it's over. Remember, they were like, it's tied. And then they just ended it?
Yes.
The Sealy year, where there was plenty of other options of guys to play. That was the year that got me.
Yeah,
that was the year that got me.
There wasn't options.
And then they made
ran
it
out
worse.
of pitchers. The one guy would have had to go 6 innings. He was already in the game.
It's not really true. There was something.
There was something going on
that you could have brought in.
You can't leave it in a tie. You can't do that.
Whatever the scenario was, it should have been a home run derby. They should have done something cool. But then they ruined it even worse when they were like, now it decides who's got home field advantage.
Yes, now it's nothing.
Now it's
nothing.
not. But I don't know.
The home run derby's not bad to gamble on. It's not bad to gamble on the home run derby, right? Throw a couple bucks on 2-3 guys.
You know what? It's. No, right. I don't think that's bad. No,
right? So it's watchable. It's watchable.
No, but
you don't got to deal with Berman anymore.
I don't know. With some of the young guys coming up, I'm not against it. I do like seeing, listen, when I look back to Matt Harvey standing up at Citi Field and stuff like that. But even now, I'm looking forward now to Senga being on the mound. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for Japan. That's a big deal. They like that. That's. I think that might be a reason why Major League Baseball was make sure you get this guy in there.
That definitely. Yeah, an extra 10
100%.
billion people watching. Obviously, they'll take that extra billion people.
But yeah, when you did the Ellie, whatever his name is, make it, the kid who's only been here for 3 weeks, they can't put him in the All-Star game.
No. And they had they can't. They had the Futures game.
They should have.
I mean, they can't.
That's the stuff where you got to take a hold of that.
Because at this point, go for ratings, right? It's just a popularity contest anyway.
No,
it's just a voting, fans voting.
At this point, a guy dropped out, and you're picking. Pick the kid who's absolutely going crazy.
Who makes that decision?
The last second one, I imagine.
The manager? Or the players?
Not the last second.
Or just somebody in an office?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Someone in an office in Manhattan? The MLB office?
I think they do pick it randomly. I do.
Out of a hat?
Yeah. It's Selig.
Zenga guy just so
Selig. It's the one thing Selig was like, I relinquish control.
I'm picking the extra.
I get the last extra.
Do they put it in the grab bag?
And it'll be a brewer every year.
In the grab bag at Citi Field?
It's a brewer.
Like the City Field
And we're
grab bag.
switching divisions again. That was the best.
Yeah, listen, I remember when the Brewers,
They were not in America. Yeah,
They were American League forever.
I know.
Right? The Brewers, when
I
we
don't
were
see
growing
them
up,
as
were American
national.
League.
Yeah.
All right, so, Bray, you got anything else? Oh, give us the block party info.
Oh yeah. Anyway, call Bob's mom.
My mom's coming.
She's coming.
I didn't know it was like open to everybody, and I went to my mom's yesterday, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to a block party
Yeah,
next
supposedly
week."
someone posted it all over the Facebook group. So
It's all over. Yeah, so that's it. So now everybody's invited. It is
Sable, Overton Avenue,
Overton
Saturday.
Avenue,
Next
Saturday.
week, we're going to be doing a show
Do a
at some
show.
point in the middle of it all.
giveaways.
Yeah, definitely.
everything. It's going to be great.
Food, drinks, have a good time. Come on
All right,
down.
so
And,
that's it.
You know, by that point, let's go get this Mets. Go watch this Mets game. Let's
Oh,
go get a
wait,
Mets
come
win.
on.
Let's do a little
This is a big
positive,
game, Brett. This is a big
positive
game.
stuff going into this All-Star
This is a
break.
big game. There was no hitter for the Yankees. They are up 4-1, so it looks like they're going to go into the break with a
Good.
win.
We're going for it.
Mets got to win today. This is a big
Second
game.
half's coming
Sure.
up. Let's go. We got something to talk about.
Empty the tank on Scherzer today. Let's go, Mets. We will talk to you next week from the block party. I'm Bob Walters. Brett Grasso right next to me. See ya.